It is actually good that we don't have any more studies until the fall, said Damian as he was packing his suitcase with some clothes. That's true, said Milo, who is his best friend and also his roommate at the college. So Milo, what do you have planned for the summer break? I'm actually planning to stay behind to spend time with my girlfriend Lisa. Oh, that's good. What about you? Asked Milo. Um, I'm actually going back home for a couple of weeks. Be able to spend some time with my dad since since I am here and my brother Jasper moved out a couple of years ago. Oh yeah, since your mom passed away when you were young, so that your dad has been alone by this whole time. Yeah, but I am actually gratitude to my dad. He took care of me and raised me by himself. I mean, had it been easy? No, that's understanding, said Milo. Well, what about, Cecilia? Cecilia is actually going to stay behind. After all, she is from this town. And she said that she was actually going to Hawaii with her family for vacation for about a week. Oh, well, wouldn't you have to go? Uh, yeah, I mean, I would, but I only had made plans for to spend time with my dad for a couple of weeks during the summer break, said Damian. Ah, well, I hope you had a good time though. And say hello to your dad from me, said Milo with a smile. Oh, I will. After that, he finished packing his suitcase and he left. A couple of days later, he arrived home. He was studying at a college in North Carolina, but he was originally from Arizona. He was actually picked up by his dad at the airport. So, Damien, how's your studying been going so far, buddy? You know that there's always up and downs with all the studies, exams, and all night studies. Yeah. And I hope you don't only do that and that you don't go out partying all nights. Dad, you know I had never been at party times, even when I was in high school. I'm just joking with you, Damien. Don't let up and get the bad mood so that fast. When he arrived home, Damien went to his room and unpacked, and he decided to leave the house for a little bit just to walk around in the neighborhood and just walk around in town. Since he hasn't been back since around Christmas, he just wanted to get some fresh air and just to relax. After all, his dad was a little bit busy himself. But that evening, he walked around the town just to see if anything had changed much. And even after all this, he was actually happy to be back home because it's just always been the best to be home to relax. He wished that he could go home a little bit more often, but due to the fact being at college and so far away from home, and also not to be able to go home so often that he wished that he could. But he was just happy to be back home anyways. But there was one thing that he wished that he could do, and that being able to spend time with his mom. His mom passed away before he even was in high school. She died in cancer when he was only 10. He was devastated. He was close to his mom. He loved her so much. And even his dad and his brother took it as a very big shock. They were at one point that she was looking even getting better, but then it all changed when she got suddenly even worse and the doctor did make one diagnosed that she may not even survive before the end of that particular year. And he was right. She didn't. His dad decided to raise his own sons by himself. Even though he had some help from his other relatives, like their grandparents on both sides of the family, and some others. But over the years, he actually was very grateful that his dad took care of him. And after his brother had moved out, he was the only one left up in stay at house. And after he finished high school and decided to go to this particular college, he was studying software programming. and he wanted to be he wanted to be a software engineer one day. And his dad actually told him to pursue his dream, and he was happy that he was able to do so. He knew that there will be a lot more studies of that particular major at his college, but he did put all his efforts, and it seems to be working. But this evening, when he went home, his dad told him that they were going to have some guests tomorrow over dinner. He was like, "Oh, really? Who? You remember my friend Harry?" "Oh, yeah, Harry. Harry was an old friend of his dad. They also were close friends since they were young." "Oh, yeah. They usually came over often to our house when I was younger," said Damian. "Yeah, he and his daughter Mia is also coming in." "Oh, how is Mia doing? I mean, I haven't seen her in a while." "Oh, she is doing well. Her working as the usual." Mia was actually a girl around the same age. She was actually never went to college or anything. She decided to start working after high school. She was also a friend of his. Well, they weren't like close friends, more like acquaintance, more like. The next day, when he was actually looking forward to seeing me again, they were they were close. Well, not that close friends, but they were at least close enough to even considered as friends, more friends, acquaintance kind of way. But when he didn't have any idea what his dad had in mind, it will change his life. But just only a couple of hours before dinner, he was actually on the phone talking to Cecilia, who was on Hawaii with her family. "I wish that you could be here," she said with a frown. I wish that too, but I already had made plans. But I will be back in a couple of days, in a couple of weeks, though. I mean, we will have the rest of the summer together. Yeah, I mean, that might be true. Then, it was time for dinner. Simon, his dad, had invited both Harry and his daughter Mia. During the dinner, they were just small talking and catching up what they had been up to lately. But then, Damian's dad dropped a big bomb. "So, Damian, me and Harry have something we want to tell you and Mia." "Oh? Well, you know, Mia actually has had a little bit of problem with to find a boyfriend lately." "Oh? Um, really?" "Yeah, she has. So, and, shortly after some time your mom passed away, me and your dad actually have been talking on this, and we actually planned this for quite a while that you should get married to Mia." Damian looked quite surprised. This was one thing he never even expected to even hear from neither of them. And he looked at Mia, who looked also surprised because it turned out she wasn't even aware of this. Both of them actually thought this was just a simple dinner they will have together. But it wasn't. "Dad, are you serious?" "Yes." "But why me?" I mean, if Mia had any problem to find a guy to be with, but why me of all people?" he asked. "I mean, since you two know each other quite well, I mean, you're close friends." "Well, I mean, sure, we know each other, but we haven't even seen each other talk to each other since high school." "And have you ever considered what Mia wants?" "Of course, she told me that she wants to do this." Then Damian looked at her, and she just looked at her plate of food without saying a word, which he took as a sign she didn't even want to do that at all. But she couldn't say against her dad. Her dad was a pretty big guy. She was scared that he will throw out her in the house or anything. And Damien was really surprised, and then he asked, "So, does that mean that we are like engaged already?" Both nodded and said yes. "But the wedding won't be until you finish college, though. We don't want to put much stressing that and all things. Well, thanks Cecilia for that, though, said Damian. But even though he had no intention to do this, after dinner he went to his room, and after that, Mia and her dad left. Damian had no idea what to do, and at that later, he called his older brother Jasper. Hey, little bro, what's up? It's been a while from you to call me. So, do you need something? Hey, big bro. Yeah, well, there's one thing I need to tell you. Okay. You kinda scared me. What is it? Dad had pulled something off his mind that I wasn't expecting to happen. What? What did he do? Well, I'll tell you. And he did. He did what? Yeah, right? He literally had put me in this arranged marriage with Mia, a girl I barely know as much at all. I mean, she is a acquaintance of mine. I mean, didn't you dating Cecilia here already? Yeah. And your dad doesn't know about it? No, we decided to keep it a secret. Oh, right, right. So when are you going to tell him? Um, well, I don't know how Dad will even take this, to be honest. But I may have to tell him at one point. Um, I may suggest that you may wait for that, you know, until until you finish college and all that. True. So, by the way, did you ask Cecilia's dad about working for his software program company? Oh yeah, yeah, and he said I had his potential of being hired soon afterwards college. I mean, I do have a very talent in that. I mean, I probably been studied as since I was in high school. Yeah, you really had a talent for that, his brother said. Anyways, I'm gonna call you later at some point to tell you what has been going on. Sure thing. Later that day, the next day, Damian was really surprised of any of this. That in fact his dad had suddenly arranged his marriage with a girl that he barely even knows much. And that the fact that she didn't even want to do that, and apparently it turned out. But he did went to see her since it was her day off. They met at the park. So, what do you think of all this arranged marriage stuff that our dad's been telling us about? To be honest, I really don't want to do it. Really? I thought you wanted to. No, I just said that I just thought about it, but he assumed that I really want to do it. And he assumed that I don't even have a boyfriend, but I do. Really? Yeah, he's a nice guy. You may not remember him, but, you know, you may remember Jack? Jack. Oh, Jack. Jack was another close friend of his from back from high school. Oh, him. Yeah, he was a good guy. Wait, are you two dating? Yeah, we actually been dating since senior year of high school. Wow. Um, oh, like, congratulations. Thanks. What about you? Are you dating anyone? Actually, yeah, I'm actually dating a girl back in college, and she is actually on vacation with her family right now. Oh, well, that's good. Well, what should we do? Well, my advice is to maybe move out from your dad's place and perhaps move in with Jack, if that's possible. Actually, we have been thinking about it for a little bit a while now, but you know, it's probably best I do that. And Jack doesn't even live here anymore. He had actually moved to a different town for different work. And it's possible that I can actually ask him about it. And since I work in a grocery store, so I thought maybe I can apply for work there. You probably should do it soon enough. Because who knows, our dads are pretty going to be changing their minds on that. Yeah. So after that, Ma- Damien had set in his mind that he had to go back soon enough. He had even told Cecilia about this arranged marriage and all that stuff. He didn't want to worry her at all, since she is on vacation and all. But when he went back to college or to North Carolina after a couple of weeks, he actually met up with Milo. And Milo had also been informed, and he was equally shocked. Really? She is. Wow. Since Milo is also from the same town, they were actually childhood friends. Yeah, but, I have really no intention of to do even marrying her. I mean, think about it. Yeah, without a doubt. So, during when the during the rest of the summer, Damien had still even told Celia, but he did just before the school started again. She was worried that he was going to marry this Mia girl, but he told her he has no intention, and he did confirm that she did also had a boyfriend already. So, when the summer came and went, when Christmas was around the corner, he decided that he was just going to stay with Cecilia's family. And since his dad wasn't going to be home at anyways, so at least that was of a safe time. But soon enough, eventually, both finished college, and it was about time when his dad actually called him. So, Damian, since you're now finished college, when are you planning on going back home? It has been a little bit, a couple of weeks since you finished college. About that, Dad, I'm not even going to. What do you mean? I mean, you're going to marry Mia, aren't you? No, Dad. You planned for that. I have never even had intention. What? I'm already engaged. Say what? You went behind my back, Dad. How do you think I would have react? And even Mia doesn't even want to marry me. She even has a boyfriend. And I should know for telling you this right now. She had moved out from her dad's place and now lives with her boyfriend. She had cut ties with her dad if he had tried to force her to in some marriage without she doesn't want to. How dare you? How dare I? I dare you as much as well, Dad. Had you ever thought of this? Well, since you have no intention of coming back, I will cut ties with you and you won't be getting any single dime from when I die. You know that I don't even care about your inheritance. What? How will you even survive? That's simple. I only have work. What? What kind of work? Walmart? Huh, that won't even make the survival. No, I'm actually a system engineer. What? Yeah, I'm actually working at my fiance's dad's company, which is a software developing program company. So yeah, I'm actually it's really well off with being with her family. So from this day on, I'm kind of ties with you, Dad. And Jasper is doing the same thing. What? No. No, wait. And then he hung up the phone call and blocked his dad's number. He didn't want to talk to his dad ever since. And it later turned out that Jasper also had moved away from the town and moved with his fiancée to a different place. Jasper told them over a call one time that he was happy to move out because shortly after he had moved, their dad, had approached him, or at least tried to talk to him about this. But he was just happy not to be there anymore. Even after all this, Damien tried to talk to his dad, or at least tried to make it work. But at first, Damien's dad was really unhappy about this. So eventually, Damien and Cecilia had their wedding. And it was a small one, but they invited some close friends and family. The only ones from the family from his side was his older brother, Jasper, his dad did get an invitation, but he didn't show up. And after about a couple of years, so about 2 years later, they were even announced that they were expecting their first child. But it turned out they were expecting twin daughters. And he was excited. Even though Cecilia herself was quite surprised, but she was even happy. Then the daughters was born. They named them Eleanor and Harper. Damian was really happy now to be a dad himself. But there was one thing that he missed. A grandparent. A paternal grandparent to his own daughters. Damian's older brother had met his nieces, and he loved them. But even though that Damian didn't want to have anything else to do with his dad, but at least Cecilia managed to convince him to at least reach out to his dad by sending a photo of him with his daughters and saying, "This is your granddaughters. If you really to talk to me, I still will be giving you a chance." It took him about a couple of weeks before his dad even responding back to him. And even though he was expecting his dad to tell him just never talk to him again. But in the phone message, or at least the voice message that he left behind, was a crying dad, begging and asking for apologies. He apologized and asked for forgiveness. Damian didn't expecting his dad to simply just do that. But he decided to meet up his dad for the first time in a long time. And he did. And he could see that his dad was really, or was genuine about his apologies. So, he forgave his dad. Even though Jasper himself at one first point was really hesitating himself. But he eventually also forgave him. But when Damian's dad met Eleanor and Harper, it all changed for a better, positive way. He loved his granddaughters, and in fact, after a little bit of time, he also moved closer to North Carolina so that he could be closer to his granddaughters. And Damian was happy to be doing this. And he knows that his mom would also have loved Eleanor and Harper. Damian is planning to telling about his mom when his daughter is old enough to understand. And even to telling them about his childhood, how he's been. Like how his dad, their grandfather, was the one who raised him and his older brother when his mom passed away. There were at one point that even Damian was considered that he didn't want to have nothing to do with his dad after what he tried to pull off. But seeing his dad lighten up when he saw his granddaughters for the first time in person, he realized it would be a big mistake if he had not made them to realize it at the time. But at least he was happy to have had made it to happen. Even Cecilia herself was happy to be this. She was happy that he made the right choice. And this is how Damian and Cecilia found a true love and got a big family together. The end.